What's going on, everybody? Welcome into another episode of Profit Picks. If you are new, we always start this show by being transparent. And yesterday was not a good day. It was a good. If I could just stop all my games at halftime, it would have been a perfect day. Perfect. But actually no. But 1-2 overall. The Valkyries over got there. The Liberty, man, we both messed that game up, Rob.
Yeah.
The Liberty under 163 and a half didn't get there, lost by the hook. And the Thunder -9, up all game, up 15 in the fourth. And I guess just, game's over with 4 minutes left. We don't need to play anymore. We just, I don't know what they were doing out there. I have a lot of words that you know, I could use to describe them, but I'm trying my best to refrain right now. So if you know me, you know where I spent most of my night at. Matter of fact, met somebody from the show. Shout out to Sam, and yeah, he saw exactly what I was doing after that game. You guys should know. Vino, I'm gonna just pass it to you because I'm thinking about my mom always said, if you don't got nothing nice to say, don't say it at all. So I'm gonna leave him alone for
Mhm.
today. Vino, hopefully your day yesterday was better than mine. And how are you doing today?
It's true, Ski. At moments like this, you should always think back to what your mom told you, and then she's moms always give good advice. So I'll say this: it was no better for me. If you and I had reversed our thought process on that WNBA game, you would have had first quarter under and cashed. I would have had full game over and cashed, but instead, we were unluckily on the wrong end of that. Both of those by close margins. I mean, I hate when these games leave you hanging, but what are you going to do? I tried CFL last night, took a team +3. They missed 2 extra points and lost by 5. It was that kind of night. 0-3, look for a bounce back here. I hadn't had one of those in a long, long time. I've talked here a lot, probably more than I'd like to, over the past 3 weeks to a month about how good the run has been. And it's still really good. It was maybe overdue for one of those last night, but we look to bounce back here, Ski. Those games get left back in the back of your memory, and you got to get on and look at what's in front of us today. And I see some good stuff here today. So and maybe this weekend as well. So we can get right to it with the WNBA.
Let's get to it. First up, we'll go in rotation order like we always do. 605, 606, Atlanta Dream heading into Connecticut, take on the Sun. Opened up -9 on the road, as high as 11 now. So it continues to go up. In the total, also on the rise from 157 to about 159 is the highest I'm seeing right now. Let me just refresh this injury report. Don't see anybody on there for the Dream. For the Sun, we have Bria Hartley, game time decision. No Lindsay Allen, no Lakin, no Marshall. Vino, maybe I should just pass it to you first because I know this is your neck of the woods over there, but man, remember, I mean, I don't remember a time the Sun have looked this bad. Like, they look absolutely terrible. I'm gonna tell you this though. At the same time, well, I'll pass it to you. I don't know what to do with this game. I have a lean, but I want to hear what you have to say first.
Yeah, I would have gone Atlanta if I could have got in the 7.5 range. This just seems high for Atlanta to me. It may not be. That's just my opinion. It seems a little bit high. But that being said, I don't know that I could get there taking points with Connecticut either, just because, as you mentioned, they've been so bad on both ends. It's not like one end is good and the other end is bad. They're just bad on both ends of the floor right now. So the first thought that came to mind, Ski, is Jordan Canada's back tonight. And when you have somebody off a long absence from the team, especially somebody that's a key part of the team, a lot of times we say, well, maybe they come in and mess up the chemistry. But I thought back to last year when Jordan Canada was out and she came back, Atlanta immediately got better. It's not like they took a couple of games to get used to it. They actually got better right away. She's a great defender. I'll tell you who else it benefits. It benefits the rookie point guard Pow Pow, who now gets to play less minutes, and she's got some experience under her belt now, makes Atlanta deeper. They're a better team. I was trying to think in my head earlier this morning if I was to list who I felt were the 4 best teams in this league. And after New York and Minnesota, I said, you know what, maybe Atlanta personnel-wise is the third best team now with Jordan Canada back, because the Aces haven't been the Aces. And Seattle, certainly, we have our opinions of them. So I like the team. I don't like the price. I think it could possibly get over simply because Connecticut, that defense, we often talk about how bad Dallas's is, but Connecticut's might be worse. Tina Charles has pointed it out a lot of times so far this season, that it's a young group that's still trying to even learn each other. She's trying to take a bulk of the offense on her own. She does it some nights. Some nights it's more difficult. Against this front line, it might be difficult. So if I were going to look, I didn't play. If I were going to look, I'd probably look toward the full game over, 158. But like I said, I haven't played. I can't get to the side because the price is too much. And I couldn't even get to Atlanta team total just because 85.5. Maybe I should. Maybe they can get to 86. I might have to rethink that. But for now, I would lean toward full game over.
Yeah, I mean, they should be able to score. I can't help but think both teams have had quite a bit of time off. The Dream haven't played since the 30th. Sun have been off since the 1st, but the Dream don't play again until the 10th. Like, do they really care about this game? This one-off versus the Sun, who are like the worst team in the league? I don't know. And they're on the road. When I think of it like that, and then also you talked about Jordan Canada coming back, could throw things off. Like, I'm just not sure how much they care about this game. And at the same time, the Sun haven't showed us a lot. I think it was, who is it here? Yeah, B Daddy said Sun are 2-1 as a double-digit underdog, but I see 2-2. It could be too many points here. Like you said, you don't like the price for the Dream. I think this one is Sun or pass, but it's really, really hard to get there with the Sun. So that's how I feel about it. Anything else before we move to a game I feel stronger about?
Yeah, let's go to the next one, because I think I actually did a video for the next one, so I feel a little bit better about that one.
All right, next game up, 607, 608. Sparks and Wings opened up. Wings -1.5. Flip of favorites. They're now 2.5 for the Sparks. Total up from 169.5 to 174. So about a, what is that, 4.5 point move there on the total. Injury report, still no Brink, still no Burrell. Paige Becker's not ready to come back from concussion, and Ty Harris out for the Wings once again. So, I mean, huge move on the total. But before I get there, let's talk about the side. Big move on the side, too. I mean, this is my thought process, first of all. I don't think either team really deserves to be a favorite. Like, whoever's laying points in this game, I'm kind of looking for a reason to fade them. Just because I don't think either team is really that good. The Sparks have lost, 3 in a row? They do have the rest advantage 4 days to 2, but they haven't shown you any reason to trust them to lay points. Both teams are very terrible defensively. So when I think of it like that, Vino, it's no way to lay. I think his Wings are pass just because they're a dog and they're at home. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I'd say, again, Skee, these massive line moves, always injury based, right? Rakia Jackson's back tonight. And so therefore, when we concluded the show yesterday, for those who don't know, we ended the show yesterday. We looked ahead together at the WNBA lines for tomorrow. Dallas was the favorite. We were like, oh, well, Dallas as a favorite? No way. And now LA's the favorite. And like you said, neither team probably deserves to lay points. I don't know that I trust each either. I'll just expand real quick on what you said about how bad they are defensively. 13 teams in the WNBA. These two rank 11th and 12th in points allowed, 10th and 11th in defensive rating. If you want to go even deeper, and I won't get into individual categories, but LA is 10th or worse in 4 other major defensive categories. And Dallas is 11th or worse in 6 of those. So you got 2 really, really bad defenses, 2 teams with a lot of scoring punch, even without Paige Beckers and without Ty Harris. Dallas can still score. I think if you're looking for advantages in this game, you can look right here to offensive rebounding. Dallas is the second best in the league, and they're second best in second chance points. The Sparks allowed the second highest amount of second chance points in the league. We saw Dallas the other night get 20 offensive rebounds against Seattle. They're really relentless. And it goes to what the coach, that mantra to start the year, we need to get more shots up. They get plenty of shots up every single night, whether they be second chance shots or coming down quickly and putting it up quick in the shot clock. So I could see them scoring against LA inside there. But the other side of the coin is Los Angeles, even without Rickea Jackson. Note that she's only played 3 games this year, and they've still been the 5th best effective field goal percentage in the league. They've scored 80 or more in 5 of their last 6. She only played in 1 of those. And Dallas is the 3rd worst effective field goal percentage defense in the league. So when you start adding all these things up, and it's not that hard. I'm getting a little more into the specifics than the generalization, which is just both teams can score. Neither team can defend. If you just leave it at that, which you can, you come to the conclusion you want to play over. Yesterday, it was 170.5. I played it immediately. It's moved up to 173.5 now, based on the Rickea Jackson news. I'll just close by saying this. Dallas, in that tempo, they impose that on everybody. Half because it's all they do is run when they get the ball. And secondly, because teams aren't afraid to run back at them. Skee, I went and looked at the 3 slowest tempo teams in the league. Those are Minnesota, Connecticut. Connecticut is slowest. Minnesota second slowest. Seattle's 3rd slowest. Connecticut scored 87 against Dallas, slowest tempo in the league. The game landed on 196. Minnesota scored 85 and 99. And Seattle has their 2 highest scoring halves of the season against Dallas, 56 and 53. So if you look at LA's pace numbers, you'll say, well, they don't play that quick. I don't think it matters if you play quick against Dallas. It just doesn't matter. Teams will go quick because they know they can score, and they do score. I'm on over. Let's hope this thing cashes.
I'm with you on that. And, B Daddy says he thinks the total is inflated. I mean, it has gone up quite a bit. I'm with you. I played it at 170.5. But, I think it's high for a reason. I mean, if you want to call it inflated, okay. But at the number we got, and I still think the last time they played, Sparks put up 110. Like, it's very capable. And you have the Wings off of a poor shooting night. I think they shot 25% from 3, 35% from the field. Sparks, I'm pretty sure they're off of a bad game too. Like, we can see them bouncing back offensively in that regard. And these are the 2 defenses you want to see when you're trying to, get some rhythm going offensively. So that's just how I see it. I'll take a look at this really quick, Rob Veno. Just try to give something to it. Let's see. Hopefully this comes up. You can see this?
I can.
So I pretty much was just, everything we said is the thought process and why to like this over. But I'm just, looking at specifics here. High totals, like we said, B Daddy says it's inflated a little bit, right? So high totals higher than 170 for a very well rested team, more than 3 days rest, and their last meeting went over. That's a little bit under 64% to the over. So you can see all these in a row. We'll see. And some high scoring games here. I mean, just because it's high for a reason. That's kind of how I feel about it. So any thoughts on this query or anything else, Vino?
Yeah, the query makes sense. And I think I always get a little bit agitated when these numbers, like B Daddy said, get inflated, but they get inflated simply because of injury news. It's all it ever is. It's not like anybody pushed this thing to 174 because they're like, 170.5. They're going to get 185 tonight, which I think they probably could. But these numbers get pumped up simply based off of injury. It's why you got to get to this stuff early. WNBA doesn't take as much money to jack up the price, so it gets there quick. But I'm with you. I think 175 plus is in line here for these 2 teams. You're asking these 2 to go ahead and play a 88, 87 game. I don't know where that's so difficult.
I didn't even look at this. Let me just make this here. So the averages in these games, or maybe it was the last one. No, it's here. I guess I gotta add it up here. Average total is 173.4. You're still going over. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and do all this math. Maybe I'm just not doing it correctly, but yeah, you guys get the idea why we like it. There's stuff to back it up even more than the words we said, So that's the WNBA card for today. Now we can move it on over. Well, we'll do a little bit of promo. You guys probably have seen it scrolling at the bottom of the screen, but we'll also put this up for a second here and remind everybody that you can get 7 days for just $77, $11 per day for any handicapper that you choose at Wager Talk. Promo code is GameOn77, and it's a good way to get involved. Vino, outside of that, is there anything else you would like to promote? And if you have a best bet for the show, we'd love to hear it. If you do not, it's all good. I have a feeling we'll have the same one today.
Yeah, we only have two to choose from, Skee, and the way we talked them out, I think we're both in agreement here. But I did play Dallas and the LA Sparks over 170.5, kind of laid out the reasons why. I left out what you added in, which is it's a big bounce back night for both teams offensively. I think, I'm a big bounce back player anyway, but even at 173.5, I think the price is doable. So that's the best bet for the show. Sparks, Wings over, full game over 173.5.
And I'm with Rob Veno. That's my play. Just so you guys know, I will grade it at 170.5, but I think this one can have 180 plus tonight. So, Vino, it's been a great week capping the games with you. I always enjoy doing it. Appreciate you taking the time. To the chat, you all are amazing. You guys help make the show what it is. Great people, great cappers, and just always want to let you know you appreciate it. If you enjoyed the show, hit the like button for us. It helps us out quite a bit. If you want to know whenever we're live here, go ahead and subscribe, and we will catch you guys next week. I believe we have games on Monday, so should be 10:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on Monday. Enjoy your weekend.